Sure.
Mike, nothing like a big trade just a few days before training camp. Just what are your thoughts? How do you process what you saw here, what you're saying goodbye to, and what's coming in?
Yeah, it's a lot. You don't think, that happens right before training camp, but it does. It's part of the business, and it's the sad part of the business too. You get comfortable with guys, and you form relationships with people, and not just them, but their families and everybody who's been around them. Obviously, Cat, what he means to the city, to our team, very special individual. Him and his family, and just it hurts, but it's like you understand it. You understand why. You understand the reasoning. You understand what we're getting back with Julius and Dante, and what they bring to the table. So you kind of have to balance those emotions, but ultimately, the cards you're dealt, you go forward with it, and we're very positive in what we're going to be able to do.
Dante is a different shooter than Cat, obviously different positions and whatnot. When you can add like a natural off ball, like potential movement shooter, like for you as a point guard, like what does that open up offensively that maybe can help this group take another step on that end of the court?
Well, yeah, what Dante will bring is something I think we've desperately wanted to add. Spacing has been different than Cat spacing, being a big as opposed to somebody who's moving around, somebody who can shoot off of screens, behind screens, corner spacing, transition, like a lot of stuff that Cat does, but in a guard form. And I just love his attitude, his the way that he plays the game. He's very selfless, and it's all about winning. He's a champion. He knows what it takes, and I think that he's one of those guys like Drew Holiday that you need guys like those individuals to win at a high level, and we're very excited to have him and Julius on the team.
Mike, you kind of talked about the conflicting emotions after the trade. How do you balance the knowing that you guys just came off a Western Conference Finals appearance last year, but also Tim's been around this league a long time, and trusting him and his vision for the team? Where's the balance between the two, really?
Yeah, no, we have all the trust in the world in Tim, and what he's been able to do for this team in a short period of time, and where we've been able to get to. So there's no, you don't feel any way towards him or anybody else. And from my understanding, they handle it better than probably any organization has probably ever handled trading somebody. So super professional in the way they work their business, and obviously it's tough when you're building something and you have a season like we did last year. We've kind of broke through the door and got to a point that we're right there. We can just change a couple of little things, and maybe we'll have opportunity to get back there again. And so it leaves a void there. You're like, okay, can we how are we gonna switch the games up a little bit, and do we change the way we play a little bit, or how things will manifest? But I'm super confident from the guys we got back, obviously, and Tim and Coach Finch, and what game plans they're going to put together to give us our best opportunities to be back where we were at last year.
Mike, I was going to kind of ask something along those lines of, like, for you as the point guard or Ant when he's initiating offense, what do you think of as the biggest changes with Carl not being there, and maybe how that changes the way you get into your action or the type of offense you play overall? Yeah,
it'll be different for sure, because Cat can do so much, and some of his best strengths are in the paint a lot of times, like stuff he can do with the ball, finishing and all that. But now with Julius, he's a guy I think that really utilizes his ability to get up and down. He can space the floor, but also be a playmaker. He's a secondary playmaker that can bring the ball up the court faster than some point guards, and be as physical as anybody in the league, and get to the free throw line, and create mismatches, and all that really is going to be how we're trying to use him and implement him into what we do as far as our spacing and stuff like that. And there are times last year where Cat and Rudy still ended up in the paint together, and paint got crowded a little bit because you had two 7-footers. But I'm sure it'll happen no matter who you have out there. So Julius, we're super excited for what his skill set can bring for us, and his mainly his dog mentality, and kind of fits exactly who we want to be, and excited about it.
You've played with some dynamic young guards like Donovan and Ant. What do you see so far from Rob? Or what kind of role do you think you'll have on this team, just kind of being a mentor for a young kid coming into the league?
Rob's got a lot of game. He can definitely score the ball. He can play make. He's a lot better, at playmaking than people give him credit for. I think it's something that he just has to, spend more time on and focus on at this level. But for his benefit, I think he's not going to be asked to do a crazy amount of things for us, right away. He'll build up to it. He'll learn. He'll continue to get minutes, and those minutes will continue to grow as the season goes on, and we're going to need him. And he's been in the gym. He works hard. He doesn't say a lot. Just is very very diligent in what he does, and he asks questions when he needs it. And I'm just excited to have a guy like that, that can move the way he can move. And I can't do the things that I say. I'll be like, man, do this, and just watch him do it. I'm like, that's exactly what I meant. I can't do it anymore. I can't stop like that. So I tell him that all the time. He's fun to watch.
Mike, how do you become this vet, but then also go into a new year saying, I need to get better at this? How do you approach that every offseason, and what did you try to improve on, whether it be something small, something big? What does a Mike Conley offseason look like?
Yeah. My offseason is just all about staying healthy, working on my body, diet, all that stuff. That's the only reason I'm probably still here, honestly. I do play basketball here and there. I do make sure that I work on my game, but just really mostly on my body and taking care of that, and treatment. And how can I played 76 games last year in the regular season. How can I continue to just play at a high level, without missing many games? But I don't think I'll play as many this year, Coach told me, but they're trying to limit me a little bit, but I don't know if I'm gonna go with it, but we'll see. But yeah, so just trying to take care of the body and be ready for training camp and preseason.
After kind of playing through the injury last year, where are you kind of health-wise coming into this year?
Yeah, I feel really good. Heading into the season. Last year was, obviously it was a struggle at the very end, but having about a good month to really focus on the calf and stuff like that, it really helped out a lot, and feel really good going in.
Hey, Mike, your time in Utah, you had a lot of success with a lot of guys there. Joe Ingles was one of them. What do you think Joe's going to bring to this team this year?
Joe is great. I hope you get a chance to speak to him at some point if y'all haven't already. Talks a lot. But he's a really, really, really smart basketball player, really high IQ guy. Understands, how to use his abilities, and on the court he's not super athletic or anything, but he understands how to get by guys and use gravity to his advantage, and people's spacing and different things like that, how to get the ball to bigs, how to find guys when they're open, leverage. Like everything about his game is built towards his brain and how he can utilize that and kind of be smarter than you, and he can shoot the heck out the ball, and a really efficient player. So just excited to have him back on the team. Great leadership. He's finally older. He's older than me, so he's the oldest on the team, so that makes me feel a lot better going into the year, so that's good. Yeah, his personality is infectious. It's similar to Ant a little bit, but in a little bit different. But he wears bandanas in the weight rooms, and just does random things and talks nonstop, and talks trash when he shoots and works out with whoever it is. He has something to say. So he's just a good dude, good guy to have around your locker room. And like you said, his experience, speaks volumes, and what he's able to, help our younger guys, and even me or anybody else who might need it in certain situations.
Thank you, Mike.
Yep.